Alright, we're back to our trusty Sea Venture map. At least for now, we'll keep using the map that we're moving around the boat now in different spots. So in this episode, we travel quite a bit, and it just happens we go to an arm, an inlet, a bay, and a lagoon, all in one episode. Alright, we're going to start at Russell Arm, right across the bay from Prince Rupert. And we're going to leave Russell Arm and travel down Granville Channel into Nettle Basin in Low Inlet. Then from there we head on south, staying in the water, and we travel to Butedale, an abandoned cannery that has docks you can hang out at. From Butedale we continued south. This time we went behind Sarah Island and Cone Island, through Jackson Passage to Rescue Cove. Then from Rescue Cove, we traveled out and around, down past Bella Bella and Shearwater to Codville Lagoon. From Codville Lagoon, we just did a short hop down to Kizimette Bay. This was because we were fishing. You'll see that in the episode. And that's where we're going to end this episode.
All right, we finished our crossing of Dixon Entrance, and it was pretty calm today, particularly after yesterday, but it was super calm. We had a nice crossing, and now we are going through Venn Canal towards Prince Rupert to deal with our customs check-in Prince Rupert, and this time we're going through the canal at high tide. So instead of being at a zero tide, it's a plus 18, so it's a big change from last time.
Leaving our anchorage across the bay from Prince Rupert this morning, heading our way south. Our second visit to Prince Rupert area this summer, though on the way south here we elected to anchor across the bay and did not go to town.
Do you want to grab the other camera for me? This is huge. So we think it was part of a logging operation, but we're not confident about that.
Feet.
Wow. Oh wow, look at the rock. Look at all the sea stars on the rock. That's a rock or a ledge?
It's a rock ledge. Look at that.
Wow. Right here in the middle.
Oh, look at the salmon. Look.
Oh yeah. We visited the falls several times during our visit because we wanted to see the difference between high and low tide. There's not much of the falls right now. Oh, did you see that one? Wow. Jumping behind us. Okay, we're leaving Low Inlet behind us and we are cruising south. We're in Granville Channel and we've played it. We're on spring tide, so we have some pretty heavy duty currents right now, and We're going to try and catch this current and have it carry us south to what looks like sunshine that way. Get out of these clouds and get into some sunshine. I'm doing 9-9, 10-2. We're getting a really good push this morning. All right, we're approaching Butedale. We're hoping to stay on the dock here, so we got to get up here and see if there's anything going on, if there's any room at the dock. We've never seen the waterfalls looking so dry. Here they are in episode 11.
The Butedale Cannery site started operation in 1918 and then was abandoned in the 1950s. Since then, it's gradually deteriorated and gone through a variety of owners with different plans to redevelop at some point in time. But there's really not much left, and the buildings look like they're ready to collapse at any time. The dock kind of works as a first come, first serve, stay at your own risk, but it's become a popular stop for boaters, and we couldn't resist a hike up to the lake where there was a dam originally built to help produce electricity for the Cannery site. Just one of those interior coastal locations where there's still structures left from a long time ago. So it's a fun place to visit and explore.
We have clear skies behind us with just a little bit of misty fog, and then as we walk our way forward, you can see that we're moving towards a fog bank. We're cruising right into it. And up ahead, there's a trawler by the name of Merlin who is just starting to disappear into the fog bank. Trees in the water, but really I was here for porpoises, which have disappeared on me. Evidently we like Jackson Passage because we left Clemtrue and just crossed Finlayson Channel and decided the passage of choice was Jackson to get us over on this other side, and we kindly got out of all that wind, which was kind of fun. And we like Jackson Passage just because it's small and you can like see both sides, and it's not such a huge passage, and you're not just a small boat in a big sea. You can actually see the surroundings, and that is really cool. Plus, I'm not sure we've been here in the sunshine. Had quite a year. Say good morning.
Good morning. Polarized sunglasses help in the fog.
Yes, check out our view this morning.
Just stellar.
Just stellar is correct. Oh, but there. You can see like a stick in the water. So you can get, there's a little sense of distance, but you sure can't tell when the water and the horizon meet. Anyway. So we're having a splendid morning this morning. We got up and had low voltage on our batteries because what is up ahead?
It's the current line.
Okay. We had low voltage on our batteries, and then we fired up the generator, and then the generator quit working. So we had to fire it up again, but we don't know why it stopped. We checked everything, it looks good. And then as we were pulling up the anchor, a new alarm went off, and that caused me concern. And so Jim and I, we stopped in the middle of what we were doing and figured out that it was the Furuno GPS that was not getting a signal, which we don't really use, but we had turned it on for the radar because we use our Nobletech. But at any rate, so that was an alarm going off. And now we're out here in this fog trying to navigate our way to Ocean Falls, and we want to get there because it was one of the places we wanted to go, but yeah, It's going to be a ways, and hopefully we'll get there. We're running, oh, we have a target ahead. We're running a lower RPM because we want to be able to see what's going on. Oh, there's logs of the water. Okay, there we go. So
you
we
can
have
show
a
this
little
on the
bit-
radar, Rose. On the small radar, see the dot right there? This is actually a log in the water.
That's the log out
So
there.
larger logs and stuff, the radars will actually pick up.
Which is really helpful. And it really helps too that it's really calm water. So that's a blessing as well. But as you can see, there's shit in the water and a lot of fog, and hopefully it'll clear up soon and this will be a more an easier cruise. But right now it's the two of us and we gotta keep an eye out. So gotta go. Bye. All right, we've been cruising about 3.5 hours. We're in Reed Passage now. The fog seems to have lifted, so that's kind of a nice break as we go through this narrow passage. Working our way through Gunboat Passage, and we have a range marker and a red buoy up here, and this is what it looks like out the window. So not at all obvious that you need to go to the left side of the red marker, but you do. No red right returning here. It's red, well, it is red right returning. So we have red right returning from sea here. All right, we're doing some fishing. All right, Jim, you look awful damn comfortable. Tell us what's up.
This is our fishing operation. 2 downriggers, 2 poles out, net in the middle ready to go, cooler, sit in the recliner, watch the poles, and of course, be a little productive.
Woohoo! All right, we finished our fishing outside of Codville Lagoon, and now we have just come in the entrance, and this is the lagoon area. This is a working ship. And it is a park. It's really cool in here. It's like a lake. Right, we're in Codville Lagoon. It's a lower tide, as you can see. There's a couple boats left in the anchorage besides us. There were about 4 or 5 last night. And we are coming to shore. We quietly rowed our little red dinghy to shore, which was kind of nice. Jim rowed me in. And we're going to walk up and
Go to Sager Lake.
see if we can find a Sager Lake.
Day 2 of salmon fishing, may be the last day now. Here's our day.
Check out these guys. They were beauties.
Yeah, 5 of them that are all about 18 pounds and 1 smaller guy.
Nice. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for another episode of Cruising Sea Venture.
Hope you enjoyed it as we traveled down the British Columbia coast. In the next episode, we'll continue on down around Cape Caution and down the Inside Passage as we work our way back to Washington. Is there anything else to add? We got a little Q&A afterwards.
Yep,
Just
yep.
2 questions, but probably overly long answers on my part. So
That's normal.
okay.
Anyway, hey everybody, glad you joined us. Glad we got another one done, and we're looking forward to working our way south. So we'll see you again next time. Until then,
Wishing you
no
no wind and flat seas. Bye, everybody. All right, let's get right on to our Q&A. 2 questions this time. The first one we've been asked several times, and that's why did we choose paravane stabilizers over active fin stabilizers? So for a quick review, active fin stabilizers are basically like really short aircraft wings that stick out of the bottom of the boat. Midships usually stick out 4 or 5 feet, 2 or 3 feet deep. They work just really like airplane flaps do. They rotate rapidly and provide lift or downward pressure controlled by a gyroscope to level the boat. I think they can be quite effective, and they're good and installed on a lot of boats. Paravanes, which is what Sea Venture has, of course, is the tall poles that stick out where we drag a paravane in the water to balance the boat. And we'll do, I think, a more detailed video sometime on the paravanes and exactly how they work. But for this question, which was why did we choose paravanes over stabilizers, active fin stabilizers, there were several reasons. The biggest single thing was that Sea Venture is a double-hulled vessel. That is, the outside of the hull is the outside of the tanks, which are all fiberglass integral tanks to the hull. So it's only 2 small spaces about 18 inches wide, strips down the side of the boat on each side, where you actually have access from inside the boat to the outer hull. That's where the through hulls are located, and the water intakes for the engines and all that kind of stuff. So there really wasn't physically somewhere to put active fins. One of the other reasons was that active fins, because of thinking about the airplane wings and how they work, their effectiveness is directly related to the speed the boat is traveling. And below about 8 knots, they become quite a bit less effective. And we only cruise at 7 knots. So that was a drawback for us, for Sea Venture, for active fins. Thinking about the paravane stabilizers, they work at all speeds and in all conditions, not really related to speed by the way they work. And as a result, they also work at anchor, which active fins do not. And some form of stabilization at anchor was important to us, so that when we're in a rolling anchorage, the paravanes also stabilize the boat and keep it from moving around too much. One of the other reasons was that active fins, of course, they're permanently installed in the hull. They're always there, so they're always providing drag for your and slowing the boat up slightly. And the reality is that 80% of our cruising, we actually don't have the paravanes in the water. So they're not, no impact on speed when they're not in the water. So that was another factor. You know, the upside to active fins, though, is that they work by flipping a switch. And that's pretty cool. There's also nothing visible on the outside of the boat. So, I mean, you wouldn't want to have this sleek, modern yacht and put paravanes on it, you know. But we kind of like that trawler work look boat, and so we just embraced that with the paravanes, and we think it worked well for us. Though for lots of people, they may not like that. So that was the primary reasons behind it. There were several others, and there's other options for stabilization that you could consider, but for us, those were the primary reasons we chose paravanes over active fins. The second question that we got was about provisioning food, and do we have some methodology for what food we have? And I think I mentioned this in one of the videos where we did a video on our spare parts inventory. I'll put the video down here of which one that was, where we kind of go into detail how we keep track of the some 700 spare parts that we carry aboard Sea Venture. We do the same kind of thing with food. You know, we're lucky enough that Sea Venture has a lot of storage space, and she's pretty indifferent to the amount of weight that you put on her. So we can carry a lot of food, 3 or 4 months supply of necessities is what we often have with us. Minus, of course, fresh fruits and vegetables, which you get along the way. We maintain an Excel spreadsheet booklet that's about 10 pages long total that details all of those provisioned food on board. And the way we do it is we just have the location of where it is and the item listed, what our target is, how many we want to have, our inventory of what we do have before we start a trip. We plug all that in, and then the spreadsheet tells us what we need to buy, and we go and buy that. Every time we complete a long trip, we kind of revisit this list, and if there's something that we had provisioned, our target was 12 of, and we only used 4, maybe we don't need to carry 12 of those, and we adjust our target accordingly, either up or down, as necessary. If anyone's interested, you can email me at cruisingseaventure@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to send you a copy of what we use. It's the way we do it. It works for us. It helps us keep track of what we have, where it is in the boat, and what we need to go shopping for. So that's it for the Q&A for this time. I hope you some of that was helpful, or at least a little interesting. If you've stuck through it this long, you deserve an award, I think. We'll see you next time on the next video as we continue on cruising. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave them in the comments or email me at cruisingseaventure@gmail.com, and we'll get those questions answered. Thanks, and bye.